and welcome to this video. As you can probably tell by the title, this is a bit of a different video. I never thought that I would do a chatty video, but I had an idea and I wanted to do it, so here we are. Before I go any further, if you watched my last vlog, you will know that I needed to get glasses, and they have come. This is one pair of the glasses that I got, and yeah, they helped me to see, so yeah, so basically today I'm going to be doing a chatty video about my January favourites. Basically just all of the favourite things from this past month. So if chatty videos aren't really your thing, then maybe don't watch this video, I guess. I was watching Conan Gray's old videos and he used to do these every month and I was like, that's cool, I want to do that. And since it's January, I thought I might as well start now. Where are my notes? Hang on. So I've got my notes. Yeah, so let's get started. So the first category that I've got is media, and within this I've included music, TV, movies, YouTube, and books. I wasn't really sure where to put books, but I felt like it fitted into this section the best, so that's where it is. Starting with music, so someone who I've been listening to a lot of this month is Lorde. My friend and I are going to her concert next month, which I'm really excited about. So I've been listening to her Solar Power album, which is what she's touring with. Basically this whole album to me just feels like a New Zealand summer in a song, and it's lovely. I love it so much. I really love Secrets from a Girl. There are some lines in that I just think are amazing. Like, couldn't wait to turn 15 and then you blink and it's been 10 years. Oh. As a nostalgic person, that is just the perfect line. I also really like Mood Ring. There's just something about it that I love. And Fallen Fruit as well. These are all just such lovely summer songs to like listen to on your way to the beach. It's very nice. And I really love Oceanic Feeling. She talks about like, hear the birds and cicadas, and it's got cicada noises in the background. And it just feels like I'm sitting in my backyard as a kid, like being fascinated by all the amazing sounds that I can hear. So if you're looking for a great summer album, yeah, I highly recommend Lorde's Solar Power. Next, I put down There's a Tuesday. So There's a Tuesday is an Auckland band, and I actually first saw them perform when I went to Conan Gray's concert in November, and they were opening for him, but they're really good. I don't know really how to describe their music. I guess indie pop. My favourite song of theirs is called Girl at Night. Girl at Night basically talks about women feeling unsafe, walking alone at night. It puts all of my feelings into a song. They've got so many other good songs as well, but that's my all-time favourite. Of course, I've already mentioned Conan like 3 times in this video, but Conan Gray. If you know me in person, then you know that I'm obsessed with Conan Gray. But if you don't, then basically he started as a YouTuber when he was in like high school, middle schoolish, I don't know American school terms, and then he started making music, and I used to watch his YouTube videos with my sister, and then he ended up coming to New Zealand last year, and I was lucky enough to go to see his concert, which was so cool. And so after that I kind of like realised how much I love all of his music, and so I became fully obsessed with it again. My favourite song from him of all time is The Other Side, because it's so nostalgic. It's one of his earlier songs and it just reminds me of being in intermediate school. And it's so good. It's like growing up, sentimental, all of that stuff, everything that I love. And from Conan Gray, that leads us on to YouTube channels. So along with listening to all of Conan Gray's music again, I also back-watched almost all of his videos. I've almost watched them all now, I think, which has been really fun and also really comforting. I don't really know how to describe his YouTube videos. They're kind of like 2018 era of YouTube. They're very like warm, and maybe it's just nostalgic to me. A lot of nostalgia and growing up, and yeah, he did some vlogs. He did a lot of chatty videos, and this is where I got the concept for this video from, because he did them and I was watching them all and I really enjoyed watching them, and I was like, that's fun, I want to make that for myself to look back on later. The next YouTube channel that I've really been enjoying is Moya Mawani. she's got the most beautiful videos ever. Basically, she lives in Europe. She studied art in Florence, which is amazing. Recently moved to Paris. It's just so beautifully done. Yeah, so she's from Northern Ireland. It's seriously, I don't even think that I can describe it. She mostly does vlogs, I think. They're just like the most beautiful montages of living in Europe, and it's beautiful. I highly, highly recommend checking out her YouTube channel. The last thing on my list is what I've been reading this month. So, solely this month, in January, I've been reading Sally Rooney books. I'm currently reading Normal People. I started reading Conversations with Friends in like late December, and I finished that on my camping trip. And then I started reading Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I just finished that, and now I'm just under halfway through Normal People. I guess the best way to describe Sally Rooney books, if you haven't read them already, they're like quite slow, which was quite different to what I normally read, but I really like it. I find myself like I'm not itching to get back to reading them as much, but I feel like more calm when I'm reading. It's like a really nice slow book. So if you're looking for something like that, they're great. I really like Conversations with Friends. I found it really interesting. The way she writes is like nothing that I've come across before, but it's so beautifully well written. She also, side note, she doesn't use speech marks, which was a very big shock when I started reading, and you do get used to it. I think it's easier that I'm reading all three of them consecutively. That is something that's just like quite weird about them. Yeah, so I really like Conversations with Friends. I enjoyed Beautiful World, but definitely not as much. And I really, really like Normal People. It might be my favourite one, but we'll see. I'm not even halfway through yet, but yeah. So if you haven't read Sally Rooney's books already, they're really good. I really like them. My next section is experiences. So my favourite experiences through January. And this is quite a long list because since it's summer, I have so much time on my hands. But at the top of this list, I have reading in a coffee shop. At the start of summer, I made a gigantic bucket list of everything that I wanted to do in summer, and taking myself on a solo date to read in a coffee shop was quite high up the list, and I finally did it a couple of weeks ago, and it was so fun. I really love going out for lunch with my friends, but sometimes there's just like this odd little awkward amount of time where like you just want to be able to do something but you don't have time to organise with other people. Or even if you just want some alone time. It was really fun. So I just went to a cafe it was like a 10-minute drive from my house, and I was reading Beautiful World at the time, and so I just sat there and I read and I people watched, and it was so fun. And then the waiter who was serving my table actually came up and talked to me about the book I was reading, so that was a really lovely experience. So if you're wanting to take yourself out on a little solo date, I definitely recommend going to read in a coffee shop by yourself. The next thing on my list is picnics. If you've watched my vlogs, you will know that I basically am constantly going on picnics. I guess it's basically me just eating outside. So yeah, that's kind of all it is. But it's kind of just an excuse for me to take my food on a walk with me and then sit somewhere with a beautiful view and eat there. And it's really fun and it's great, and you can just sit in the bush or by the sea and listen to all the sounds around you. Or I listen to my podcast or my audiobook sometimes. It's great. I highly recommend. Second to last on the list is camping. I have hardly ever gone camping in my life, but anytime we have a spare weekend, we go camping together, which is so fun. And we get to go on like river swims, and as someone who like hardly ever camps, I really enjoyed it. The final thing on my list, of course, since it's summer, it has to be, is swimming. I've been doing so much swimming lately. It's great. My friend and I go swimming quite a lot, and we get to go to, since we can drive now, we get to go to lots of cool beaches that are near us and that are super far away from us that we would never usually get to go to, which is really nice. And then also I just take myself on like 15-minute swims close to home, which is really great. Sometimes I'm just like dying of heat at home and I just need to get into the water and cool off, and so I just go to the beach and then I'm shivering because the water's freezing, but it's really fun. My last section is miscellaneous favourites. I didn't really know where to put these things, so I just kind of like have a random section now. So the first thing on that list is my film camera. So I bought this in November as like an end of year treat for myself. And I love it so much. I've had a film camera before, but it's got a really big lens, so it means that I can't take it everywhere with me, and it also doesn't have a flash, which means I can't shoot indoors. But this is just a super simple point and shoot camera that I take with me everywhere I go. Yeah, I've taken some of my most favourite ever film photos on here. It's really, really good. I love it so much. Yeah, these are some of the photos that I've taken. I love them so much. If you're interested in film photography, then I would recommend just grabbing a disposable camera to test it out. They're usually about $40 or so, sometimes $30. Film photography is quite expensive, but just to try out how you like film photos and how that kind of like simplicity of not seeing something immediately, how you like that. And then if you're interested, then just buy yourself a cheap point and shoot camera, because I love it so much. It does get quite expensive between paying for film rolls and developing costs, but that's where I choose to put my money instead of other things. So yeah. The last thing on my miscellaneous list is journaling. I've never really been someone who journals. I always wanted to, but I don't have the focus for that. But last year I was watching a video and somebody said that they had a line a day journal, and I thought that was really cool. So basically the concept is that I bought one. I think you can probably make your own, but basically it's a journal where every single day for 3 or 5 years you write one simple line about what happened in your day, and then you can look back on it in years to come to see what you were doing on this day 3 years ago or on this day 2 years ago. And I thought that was super cool, so I bought myself one, and I have been using it a lot. I really enjoy it because it means that I have something to like slow down before going to bed. So I'll journal and then I'll read and then I'll head off to bed, and it's great. So if you're interested in like a simpler way of journaling, I guess, with less work and it's easier to commit to, then yeah, that's a super fun thing to check out. That's all that I have on my list for today. If you try any of my recommendations, let me know what you think, and if you have any recommendations for me, I would love to hear them. I hope you enjoyed this different video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!